Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this video. And if you want farming ideas that don't just sustain a family but scale into real wealth, you're in the right place, okay? My name is Dedan, and today I'll walk you through 10 crops, the exact crops African farmers are using today to build serious businesses. And also I'll give you the practical routes from a small plot to a large profitable operation. And this is not theory, it's market-driven advice. This step-by-step thinking so you can start planning from today. And in the next 1 hour, I will cover each crop's market demand, production basics, where it is grown, and most importantly, how to turn it into a high-margin business using processing, aggregation, export, or niche premium markets. For each crop, I'll give you the short list of countries where it is most widely produced, because knowing market geography helps you find buyers, partners, and also export routes quickly. This video is designed to serve an international audience, so I will speak plainly and include the business angles that matter to exporters, local processors, and also agripreneurs. Now, wherever possible, I will point out quick wins, short cycles, high value per square meter crops, and also low land requirements options to help you accelerate revenue. But before we begin, I want you to hit that subscribe button, okay? Subscribe to the channel and also click the bell if you want more practical agribusiness videos from Africa. And if you find something useful in this video, please share it to your friends. All right, let's start with crop number 1, which is maize. Now, maize is Africa's primary staple. It is eaten in many forms, from boiled corn to maize flour, and also used heavily as animal feeds, because it is the backbone of food security and also livestock industries. Maize always has demand. That stable, near constant demand makes maize a foundation crop for agribusiness that want reliable cash flow while they build higher margin operations. Profitability for maize comes from volume and also downstream processing. On its own, maize can be a solid cash crop if you manage yields and also post-harvest losses. The bigger value comes from creating flour, branded meal products, or selling into feed mills. Processed maize commands higher prices than raw grain and also dramatically increases your margin per ton. Production basics, maize grows across wide agroecological zones, from humid lowlands to drier plateaus, with good varieties and also fertilizer use, driving, big yield improvements. Key inputs are improved seeds, for example, balanced fertilizer, timely weed control, and reasonably good storage to avoid aflatoxin and also pest losses. Irrigation or staggered plantings reduce, seasonal price risk by letting you sell when prices peak. Business models that scale: you have contract growing for animal feed factories, running a small milling business, that is a posho mill, packaged flour, or aggregating maize from smallholders and also selling in bulk to wholesalers or exporters. Add storage and also simple cleaning, conditioning equipment. This reduces losses and also improves prices at sale time. And major producing countries in Africa, we have Nigeria, South Africa, Tanzania, Zambia, Kenya, Ethiopia, Malawi, and also Uganda, because each has a different market channel. South Africa and Zambia have more commercial scale and mechanization. Nigeria and Kenya, they offer huge domestic markets and also strong demand for processed maize. So how do you start and scale? I want you to start with a reliable hybrid seed, okay? Like maybe you have to test a 1 to 2 acre plot and secure an off-taker array, a feed company or local mill. Within 2 to 4 seasons, you can actually scale acreage. You have to invest in a small mill and build blended flour. With the sprint reinvestment, aggregation, and value addition, maize can fund larger projects and also become a revenue engine that helps you move forwards and also towards 7 figures over several years. Number 2, we have tomatoes. Now, tomatoes are one of the best crops for rapid cash flow and also strong margins, especially when you move from selling fresh fruit into processing, paste, sauces, canned tomatoes, and frozen chopped tomato. Fresh tomato markets are huge in Africa, but they are also volatile and perishable. So that means processing fixes that volatility and also unlocks premium markets. Profitability is high per square meter when you use irrigation and also intensive agronomy. Where processing exists, processors often pay premiums for consistent quality and also volume. Smallholders who organize into cooperatives or who grow in protected structures like greenhouses or shade nets, these can achieve commercial yields and also direct contracts with processors. Production basics: tomatoes like warm days and cool nights with consistent water. They respond strongly to good seed staking, or what we can call the trellising, integrated pest management, and also fertilizer programs. Harvest windows are frequent, giving repeated cash flows in a season. And if handled properly, tomatoes can return money faster than many seasonal staples. Now, you have to build a local tomato paste or sauce line, supply hotels and restaurants, or sell chilled crates to urban supermarkets. Now, even small investments in a simple paste line or dehydration for sun-dried tomatoes, this can multiply farm gate returns. And another route is greenhouse production for specialty markets and off-season export. Tomatoes are widely grown in Nigeria, Egypt, Tanzania, Kenya, and Morocco. And in some of these countries, the processing sector is more developed. In others, there is still an opening for entrepreneurs to set up mills and buy from farmers at harvest time. So how do you speed up the scale? I want you to start with a few beds under irrigation. You capture data on yields and also harvest dates, and then approach local processors or wholesalers before planting. And you also have to invest in cold storage or fast transport to reduce spoilage. And with reliable supply and a simple processing step, tomato farming can generate significant income within a single season and also become the core of a profitable agribusiness. Number 3, we have onions. Now, onions are a classic high-value vegetable crop. They keep well when cured and also stored correctly, and they are used across cuisines, which keeps year-round demand strong, because onions can be stored and also sold over months. They allow producers to capture higher prices during, what we call the lean seasons. Now, profitability stems from good yields, proper curing, and also storage, and also access to markets that pay premiums for consistent quality and also larger volumes. Bulk shipments to urban markets or exports to neighboring countries, these can also deliver margins for above staple crops. Production basics: onions need well-drained soil, good seed, timely irrigation during bulb formation, and also careful post-harvest curing before storage. Investment in a simple store or evaporative cooler, this can make a big difference in price and also reduce losses from rot and also sprouting. So, value-add options include processing into dried onion flakes or maybe powder for industrial buyers, packaging for supermarkets or bulk supply contracts with food processors and also large hotels, and also creating blended packaged onions, sorted and cleaned. This can open higher margin retail channels. And onions are actually commonly grown in Egypt, Nigeria, Morocco, South Africa, and Ethiopia. Even where I am in Uganda, they grow onions. But Egypt and Morocco, they have a large irrigated zones and export experience. Other countries also supply strong domestic markets and also a regional trade. So how do you start? I want you to grow one well-managed onion crop with attention to curing and also storage. Then you build a relationship with traders and processors. Scaling to export or dried products requires quality control and also basic processing equipment. But the per hectare returns make onions an attractive fast growth crop for agripreneurs who actually prioritize post-harvest handling. Now, crop number 4, we have cassava. Cassava is a resilient staple with huge potential for industrial value addition. It is eaten fresh, turned into gari and flour, and also processed into starch, flour for baking, animal feed, and also even industrial products like ethanol, because it tolerates poor soils and also drought. Cassava is a very powerful crop for scaling in many African geographies. Profitability increases dramatically when you process cassava into higher value products. gari, cassava flour for baking, tapioca, and also starch for industrial buyers. Local processing multiplies the price per ton many times compared to raw roots. Production basics: cassava is low input compared to many staples. It tolerates marginal soils, and it can also be harvested on a staggered basis for cash flow. The crop's main challenge is rapid post-harvest deterioration once uprooted. So on-farm processing capacity or fast transport to local mills is very strategic. Business pathways. Let me tell you something. You have to set up a very small flour or gari processing line, aggregate roots from smallholders, or maybe supply feed factories and starch processors, diesel-powered crushers, maybe and simple dryers. These are available at modest scale, and these create opportunities to capture value immediately at harvest. Now, let me tell you, some of the countries that plant cassava, we have Nigeria, we have, if you go to the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ghana, Angola, and Tanzania. But Nigeria is the continent's largest producer, and it has an internal processing industry, while other countries are ripe for investment in value addition. So how do you scale up quickly? You have to focus on building a local processing unit and also contracting farmers to for steady supply. Processed cassava products find urban and industrial buyers with a reliable supply chain, and even a small processing plant. Cassava becomes a serious cash generator within 1 to 3 years. Now, we have passion fruit. Now, passion fruit is is a small land, high-value fruit with a very strong international demand for juice, concentrate, and frozen pulp. Now, for agripreneurs who focus on niche or export markets, passion fruit offers excellent price per kilogram compared to many staples. Profitability comes from exporters and also processors who pay premium prices for quality, clean fruit for pulp and juice. And if you target processing markets, juice factories, frozen pulp for export, rather than the fragile market, margins rise and product shelf life improves. Now, production basics include passion fruit is a vine crop, needing trellises, good drainage and also disease management. With proper care, it starts within a year, and you start producing within a year or two, and it yields multiple harvests per year, delivering repeat cash flows. So how do you add value? You have to build a very small cold chain and also supply pulp to juice processors. Produce organic or maybe fair trade certified fruit for premium markets, or produce bottled juice locally for domestic scales. Processing pulp and concentrate is where margins grow sustainability. But now, passion fruit is commonly produced in Kenya, even here in Uganda, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Tanzania. Kenya has notable export channels for juice processors. Other markets offer growing opportunities for targeted exporters. How do you start and scale? You have to begin with a demo plot and try your varieties, secure a buyer or processor in advance, and then invest in quality standards like clean fruit sorting, pulp freezing, and with good market access, passion fruit producers can earn high returns within 1-3 years of planting and also scale through cooperative supplied processors. Fruit crop number 6, we have avocado. Avocado is one of the most buoyant export crops in Africa today. Global demand for Hass avocados remains very strong in Europe, in the Middle East, and Asia. Avocado trees deliver high value per tree, and with a high and right variety and packing, access to export markets can dramatically increase farm income. Profitability is driven by export prices, which are often significantly higher than local fresh prices. So when you add packing, cold chain logistics, and direct export contracts, avocado has become a very high margin, recurring revenue crop once orchards mature. Let me tell you some production basis. Avocado is a tree crop, okay? So it takes time to mature, often 3 to 5 years, to commercial yields for new plantings. But once established, it yields for decades. And key investments include proper rootstock, that's variety selection. You have to do irrigation, you have to do soil preparation, and also post-harvest handling to meet export quality standards. How do you add value? You have to invest in grading, cold storage, and also export packing. You have to focus on Hass variety for export markets, pursue organic or fair trade certifications, access premium buyers. Another route is local value addition. You have to produce avocado oil or processed avocado products for niche markets. If you go to Kenya, South Africa, Morocco, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Ghana, and even here in Uganda, they produce avocados. But Kenya and South Africa, they have active export programs and they experience meeting standards for overseas buyers. So how do you accelerate wealth creation? You have to plant with the export market in mind, okay? Graft or buy certified seedlings and secure offtake agreements with exporters or exporters agents before their orchard matures. And once your tree produces at scale, a well-managed avocado orchard with export channels can be a multi-year income stream that compounds into serious wealth. Number 7, we have coffee. Now, coffee is a very premium export crop with both traditional commodity markets and also a growing specialty coffee segment. For farmers and cooperatives that focus on quality processing, traceability, and direct trade relationships with roasters, coffee can generate excellent returns and also brand value. Profitability depends on grade and market channel. Commodity prices vary, but specialty coffee, single origin, washed or natural process with traceable farm practices can sell for multiple times the commodity rate. And adding a washing station or quality control lifts that earning significantly. So coffee thrives at higher altitudes with stable, cool climates, okay? And it requires long-term investment, careful harvest, and processing, wet or dry milling. And input needs, for example, you have to do shade management, pruning, and pest control. The real value comes in post-harvest processing and also improving cup quality. Now, value addition and business models, you have to create a washing station, organize quality control, blend your coffee as a single estate or single origin, and also connect with specialty roasters and direct trade, okay? Processing for specialty markets commands premium prices and also builds a long-term brand quality. Countries that grow coffee have Ethiopia, Uganda, my country, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. And each country has specialty regions and also unique flavor profiles that attract international buyers. So how do you build quickly? You have to focus on quality and also traceability, partner with roasters who will pay premiums for specialty lots, and also invest in basic processing infrastructure. While coffee takes longer to mature, high-value specialty lots and direct export contracts can transform a coffee enterprise into a very high-income business over several seasons. Number 8, we have mushroom farming. Now, mushroom farming is maybe the fastest path to high profit per square meter. Mushrooms require small space. They grow quickly in a very controlled environment, and they are in high demand in urban restaurants, supermarkets, and also health food markets. For entrepreneurs with limited land, mushrooms are a game changer. Profitability is exceptional because yields per square meter are very high and also cycles are short, weeks rather than months or years. Now, let me tell you, production basics, we have mushrooms are grown in what you can call the substrate bags or maybe climate controlled rooms. Core inputs, these are substrate, the straw, sawdust, spawn, and a simple controlled environment. And the primary skill is managing hygiene and humidity. Once you master that, then cycles repeat rapidly, producing steady weekly income. Now, how do you add value? You have to dry and package mushrooms for retail and also produce mushroom powder for functional food manufacturers. You have to target restaurants with regular supply contracts, or maybe create mushroom growing kits for urban farmers, mushroom processing for value-added products. These expand margins substantially. Where do we grow, for example, mushrooms? If you go to South Africa, they are there. Go to Kenya, go to Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria. Test markets with rising urban demand. The advantage is you don't need large land or long awaits to get to market. How do you start and scale? You have to set up a very small controlled unit, master 1 or 2 varieties, and secure buyers in nearby cities, because cycles are short and you can scale from a micro operation to several rooms in a month, compounding revenue quickly and also creating robust cash flow businesses. Now, another crop is rice. Rice is a major staple with huge demand across Africa. Where irrigated production or improved water management exists, rice yields and returns can be substantial, okay? Rice has also what you call substantial processing and also blending opportunities that multiply farm value. Profitability comes from mechanized production, good water management, and also processing. Parboiling, milling, and also blended packaging significantly raise the price per kilogram versus raw padley. In regions with import competition, Locally produced or milled rice has a very strong domestic market potential. Now, let me tell you some production basics. One, rice needs proper water control. Rain-fed lowlands, upland, or irrigated systems each have different practices. Mechanization for land prep and also harvesting reduces costs. Post-harvest milling and also parboiling improve quality and shelf life for retail markets. Now, how do you add value? You have to run or partner with a local mill, brand parboiled or maybe polished rice and serve urban supermarkets, cooperative milling for cluster of farmers, or maybe contract farming with millers. These are effective models to secure stable income. If you go to Nigeria, Egypt, Madagascar, Tanzania, and Senegal, these are places with significant domestic demand and some irrigation infrastructure. Each country offers different models for scaling and also market access. How do you scale up? You have to target irrigated production or improved water management. You have to invest in small milling capacity or maybe partner with an existing mill and also sell packaged rice to supermarkets and also urban wholesalers. And with the right equipment and markets, rice can fund large agribusiness operations and also steady revenue growth. Lastly, we have sweet potato. Now, sweet potatoes, these are versatile crops with both food security and also commercial value, especially orange fresh varieties that have nutritional premium due to vitamin A. Now, sweet potatoes, they work very well for both smallholders and also commercial production with short cycles and multiple harvests possible. Profitability depends on variety, market channel, and processing. Fresh root markets are sold, but much higher value comes from processing into chips, fries, flour, or maybe animal feeds. And the nutritious varieties can also command premiums in health-oriented markets and also school feeding programs. Production basics, sweet potatoes, they grow in many climates with low to moderate inputs in fast maturing, and this can be harvested multiple times per year with good management. Key success factors, these are vine multiplication for seed, soil preparation, and also pest control. Value add models, process into chips for fast food chains and also snacks, mill into flour for bakery industries, or produce animal feeds. And there are also export opportunities for processed sweet potatoes products and also even fresh roots in regional markets when packaging and cold chain are good. Sweet potatoes, they are commonly grown in Nigeria, Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and Malawi. These are countries with strong markets and also growing interest in processed products and also nutritional programs. How do you grow into a high value business? Now you have to start with a fast maturing, high yielding varieties. Develop a processing plan, either chips or flour, and then secure buyers in urban snack markets and also institutional buyers like schools and hospitals. Because sweet potato cycles are short, you can actually rapidly iterate production and also product offers, scaling income in a relatively short time frame. Now, you've just had 10 crops, each with a clear path to meaningful wealth. From high volume staples like maize to rice, to high margin export friendly crops like avocado and passion fruits, and fast space efficient opportunities like mushroom farming. The core pattern is the same across all the 10: market awareness plus quality production plus value addition, which will be equal to high profits. Now, for practical rules to remember: first, know your buyer before you plant. Second, prioritize post-harvest handling to protect price and quality. And third, you have to start small and also scale by reinvesting profits. And lastly, you have to seek aggregation and processing. That's where margins multiply. These are the non-sexy but essential parts of converting crop production into true business income. If I had to pick a rapid growth formula for someone starting today, it would be this: choose a high-value crop that fits your land and climate. Then you secure an off-taker or join a cooperative. Then you focus on quality and also add value. And then even simple grading, cold packing or maybe drying. This amplifies what you earn per kilo. And then you combine that with careful record keeping and also reinvestment plan, and you'll be creating a scalable business, not just a small farm. Practically speaking, you can start with Now, if this video helped you, please subscribe and join the community. In the next video, I will share exact startup budgets, simple equipment list, and also maybe the 90-day action plans for 3 of these crops, so you can actually choose a starter path and also maybe begin immediately. Farming can make you rich, but only if you treat it as a business. Start today, plan carefully, and we will build it together. My name is Dedan. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, please don't forget.